Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Steiner konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
Es bleiben im Raum Keitel, Jodl, Krebs und Burgdorf. Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer schickt Sie, dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen?
Now, Asmongold, he is a menace. This is well known. But the guy is relatively apolitical. We share a lot of same opinions. We disagree on some things, we agree on others. But the important thing, and part of his popularity, the reason he's so popular, is because that's actually normal. It's actually normal to disagree with people and not hate them. It's actually normal to enjoy hanging out with somebody, or in his case, watching their content and not agree with every little thing they say. Somewhere around 2014, 2015, 2016, it became this thing, content became a thing where you had to agree with everything content creators said. I'm gonna unsubscribe. You said something I disagree with. I need constant reinforcement. That's not the way things work anymore. People have grown up. His audience has grown up, and the audience online in general has grown up. Part of my one of my favorite arcs of Asmongold is him poking the bee's hive that is communist Twitch. I don't think the guy is, a lot of times I get to laugh at haha, Asmongold dunked on Hasan again. He's no conservative, he's no liberal, he's just a regular dude. And I think that's kind of where I am at. Sure, I voted for Trump, but I'm not like a card-carrying conservative. Very liberal on a lot of things. Well, in this latest arc, not only has he, of course, humiliated Hasan Piker, but now it appears he got one of the most vile people on Twitch, a socialist, self-avowed socialist, banned after they said something absolutely heinous. And I'm convinced that the only reason they got banned is because Kick's largest political streamer, Asmongold, said something about it. Dan Clancy, in my opinion, is a radical leftist. So far to the left that he hates, so far to the left that him and the far, far right are actually the same. They say the same things. He's also a gooner, which is kind of hilarious, always creeping on the girls on the platform. But anyway, Mike from PA, if you don't know who it is, this is probably his most famous video. You might be seeing this random chick, don't know or care who she is. But Mike from PA will forever be known for this clip in which he attempts to lay his epic mac on some chick named Bad Bunny. I thought Bad Bunny was a dude and a musician. I don't know, but here's Mike. So every time Mike from PA talks tough, just remember this is how this interaction went.
I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I think I'm getting your attention.
What? No matter how bad things are, just understand that you are not this guy. Tomorrow is going to be another day, and you still won't be this guy. He rubbed her on the back, and then
I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
Well, I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Again, no matter how bad it gets, no matter what goes on in this video, just remember that you are not Mike from PA. Now he grew his hair out long and he's got a wispy Terry beard or a little pube beard, but he's still the same guy. He goes by the channel name Central Committee, and most people know him from that obviously humiliating moment. And also when he placed a $100,000 or $30,000 bounty on another Twitch streamer because he, again, disagreed with his opinions. This is not the way we do things anymore. When we disagree with somebody's opinions, we either make a video and laugh at them, or we keep it moving. Mike from PA is still stuck in 2015, 2016 Twitter or Twitch, where he got most of, these type of attitudes thrive. There's still a few people out there who kind of live in this bubble still, but it's entirely shrinking. Twitch streamer Michael Bayer, known online as Central Committee, was banned from Amazon back in November of last year after he issued a bounty on another streamer's life. Now, I get it. It's Destiny. We've all been there. Destiny famously said that Corey Compratori deserved what happened to him. The firefighter who was just at a Trump rally and lost his life that day in Butler. Destiny says heinous things. It's the only reason he remains relevant. And he's kind of like DSP in that way, like a cockroach. Every 6 months, he'll say something heinous. He'll get a bunch of people to tune in, and then people move on because eventually that shtick kind of gets old. But Mike from PA is, again, an avowed socialist. Twitch partner. That's the first thing. This is what's this is what he's most proud of. Twitch partner, which just about anybody can be. He's also a proud Democratic Socialists number, leftist former campaign staffer. And now I talk about politics. Wow, this guy seems like a hoot. Okay, an absolute hoot. Go to his Twitter and he's obsessing about Israel constantly. Again, you know how I say the far left and the far right, the horseshoe, they're basically touching nowadays. Far right talks a lot about Israel. Far left talks a lot about Israel. Perhaps they would make great bedfellows. His entire Twitter account is obsessing over it. Well, he says, Mike from PA wants me to lose my life because I called him a virgin. This is the kind of language that this guy uses. But now let's get to what got him a ban on Twitch. We know on Twitch there is crazy rhetoric. It represents about 2 to 3% of Twitch's total viewership. Guys like Hasan Piker and Mike from PA, they're completely meaningless in the real world. But they also represent nearly 100% of the controversy Twitch suffers from. Let's say 90% of it, 10% has come from girls thoughting. It's been a long time since, thought controversies, but they've been around. Now, Mike from PA, another far leftist loser, had this to say in his chat. Mike from PA, just being as anti-Semitic as possible, quote, Jew is not an ethnic, it's a demonic ethnicity wholly invented. That's what Mike from PA said. Now, I'm a free speech guy. He's allowed to say that. I don't like anti-Semitism being used to squash people's free speech, but I laugh at it when it's Twitch. If this guy were to be banned from Rumble for this kind of stuff, I would fight for him to be on, but it's Twitch. And Twitch has allowed the far left to take over not only basically all of their advertising decisions. The far left, they agree with them so much that they're willing to let the far left tank their entire platform. This Dan fellow, I'm unfamiliar with him. He runs redact.dev. He's apparently a neoliberal centrist. I know he did a show with Destiny, I think. His name is Dan Saltman. Maybe I'll have him on the show one day, or maybe he already hates me. I don't know. But he obviously is on the other side of this. He's talking about anti-Semitism. Now, here's this thing.
Between Arab and Jew.
This is the Mike from PA.
In the days that followed
That's
that,
crazy.
the blessed
Jew
night-
is not a fucking ethnic. Jewish is not an ethnicity. This constructed ethnicity. This demonic ethnicity.
So,
wholly invented.
So again, there may be people who watch me who are pretty far right that agree with that, right? That's what I'm saying. The far, I don't concern myself with what's going on in Israel every day. I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm trying to not have a massive coronary before I'm 50. That kind of dominates what I'm going through each day. Are there things that the Israeli government does that I don't like? Absolutely. Do I think they're too involved in our government? Absolutely. I think Qatar is too involved in our government. I think China has too much power over America. I think any foreign nation that has power in America is wrong, right? I don't give a crap. I'm wholly isolationist. Close the borders. Let's just worry about ourselves. How about just for 20 years? Let's just see how far we can go. 20 years. Just worrying about America, And, that's primarily why I voted for Trump. Primarily why I got mad over Iran. Primarily, so I think most people are there. And then you see Zach Asmongold saying, How is calling people's Jewish ethnicity a demonic entity not an instant permaban? What the F is going on? I'm starting to think maybe Twitch does actually have an anti-Semitism problem. And then there's this website that is called Advertise on Twitch. This website is not owned or operated by Twitch. This is a website that has sprouted up. I don't know who put this together.
Xbox and Trolley are bringing new
There you go.
adventures to Sea of Thieves, Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft, and Diablo 4. What's with the worms?
So it's just playing an ad. I don't know. Here is what type of content, what type of other content is allowed on Twitch. You can see, obviously, it shows all the brands, and they show, you know, Frogan's famous clip here. Everyone can remember this egg-shaped individual that's wholly irrelevant. But again, these people without audiences account for almost exclusively Twitch's PR problems and advertising problems.
Any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Eats. Shoves more food in your mouth. Haha, I did a funny. I said
I posted it in my head. I'm like, base?
This is a woman that like pretends on the internet and eats. That's basically her content. You know, you see Hasan Piker and other kind of stuff, and you go through and you have all these brands that are on Twitch. I mean, I again do not agree with anti-Semitism as a cudgel, but boy, these people are just awful, you know. And of course, Mike from PA has now been banned from Twitch with Asmongold saying got him. Pretty much confirming that Asmongold's single tweet got rid of one of the most vile socialist losers on the platform. I would like a request. Zach, can you use your powers also on Frogan? Let's do a small test, you know? Hasan, he adds value because he generates a lot of content that I get to make fun of. But like Frogan's just vile, plus no one knows who she is or cares. So let's see, you know, ideally it'd be nice to see if you could use your powers for that. We'll have to wait and see who Asmon's next victim is. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. Hey, don't forget, if you're in the market for a new PC, Meta PCs, promo code TheQuartering, link in the description. You can save some money. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again real soon.